Hello everyone, this is Sondos and this is Analysis to Helpston Green Poem by Jean Clair. Jean Clair is a romantic poet and he is described as the most famous English poet you've never heard of. In this poem, Clair is talking about his beloved village, Helpston. Clair grew up to be a poet. This village and the countryside around it were his inspiration. Clair wrote poems here about the village and the things he knew best, his childhood and the beauty of the open countryside. Yet, all of a sudden, his home and his memories came to an end. In 1809, a parliamentary act was passed enclosing all the lands of Jean Clair's neighborhood, in order to maximize the profit derived from the earth. Now the Industrial Revolution has reached the natural world, creating less of a freedom for him. He found himself confined in the place he felt most free. This led him, initially, to insanity. In this poem, he's talking about his village and how the axe is cutting mercilessly the trees and the woods of his beloved village, taking it all away along with his childhood memories, shutting the door to any further aspiration for the future, as living happily ever after in this place. The poem consists of 8 stanzas and 8 lines for each. The rhyme scheme for it is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D. It's an alternative rhyme, so it's more like Shakespearean one. Number of syllables is the same, almost the same for each line along each stanza. We'll be talking about specific stanzas for the sake of time. First stanza, of course. You injured healed, you once were gay, when nature's hand displayed. Long waving groves of willows grey, and plums of hawthorn shade, but now, alas, your hawthorn bowers, all desolate, we see spoilers' axe their shade devours, and cut down every tree. In this stanza, he is describing the most agonizing scene to him, the scene of transforming nature, like trees of willows and hawthorn, was being cut to fall down and pave the way for an industrial place that owns the authority of this spot from now on. Desolation comes upon Helpston. In the next stanza, he is talking melancholically about the stubbornness of his memory, that is, insisting on bringing the joyful past as shading flashbacks in front of him. He also mentioned his favorite places, and maybe in which he wrote great poems, like this. Yet now all of them are gone, emphasizing that green, which represents nature, will always be his dearest. The next stanza is, for me, the most agonizing one. Over its green hills I often strayed in childhood's happy hour, oft sought the nest along the shade and gathered many a flower, and there with the playmates often joined in fresher sports to plan, but now increasing years have coined those children into man. He is describing the full of joy childhood, while playing around the countryside, his countryside, and describing that it was just an hour, emphasizing that happy time is so short for him in this place. These increasing years, these memories have been coined, framed, and transformed. These joyful children have been transformed into men. And I think he said man, not men, as if industrial world makes us copies of each other, while there's no room for self-identity. In this stanza, he's saying goodbye to his beloved spot, saying that there's no way out of it, 'cause always the prophets win. He's emphasizing the shortness of the happy period he led, and that, after all this, after his home has been taken away from him, he have no hope for the future. It's only days counting itself down, meaninglessly. In the last stanza, he's saying how this incident made him old in spirit, and how soon he will be old in body too. He's also saying that he will be forever loyal for this green nature, even only in his poetry, unlike them who destroyed these irreplaceable villages. He ended that all what industrial life gives us is death and deadly end, ironically. So the structure, as we talked about before, is 8 stanzas, 8 lines each. The rhyme goes A, B, C, D, C, D. The syllabus is almost the same for each stanza except one, in which it was like 9 syllables. When he said alas, I think this extra syllable in that specific line was for a reason. And of course from the romantic genre. The theme is the natural world's devastation as a result of the Industrial Revolution, and how this industrial world gives less freedom for the natural world. There are many romantic features in this poem, and here are some of them. Glorification of nature, of course. Glorification of the common man, as he mentioned herdsman and milkmaid in this poem, rejecting the artificiality of civilization and seek the unspoiled nature, childhood innocence, sensory description, and aesthetic beauty. And this is it. Thank you for watching.